It was a bright and sunny morning at Duckburg, and Donald Duck, with his usual enthusiasm, decided to volunteer at the local zoo. As he waddled along, his heart brimmed with excitement, eager to make the zoo a happier place for both animals and visitors. Upon arrival, the kind zookeeper Mr. Turtlehod instructed Donald to replace all the old animal name signs with bright, new ones. "It's a simple task, Donald," Mr. Turtlehod said with a gentle smile. "Just make sure each animal gets its correct name." Donald nodded eagerly, feeling confident about the task. However, organization wasn't exactly his forte, and in his rush to finish quickly, Donald began accidentally swapping the signs, not noticing a thing. First, the lion's den received a sign that now read penguins. The visitors gathered with curious eyes, expecting penguins waddling around, but were met with the kingly roars of lions. Some of them were surprised, while a baby burst into delighted laughter, thinking the lions were just extra-large penguins. Next, the penguin pond sported a sign that now said lions. The unsuspecting visitors walked over with anticipation, only to find a cute bunch of playful penguins sliding and tumbling on the ice. "Those must be some funny-looking lions," a little girl giggled, her eyes wide with wonder. But the true spectacle was at the giraffe enclosure, which had been mislabeled as monkeys. Adults stared in bewilderment at the long-necked creatures calmly munching on leaves. "I've never seen monkeys with such long necks," said a man in the crowd as the giraffe strutted around, blissfully unaware of the signage chaos. Chaos erupted everywhere as people tried to make sense of the incredibly peculiar animals. Children pointed in excitement while adults scratched their heads in confusion. Back at the entrance, Mr. Turtlehod heard the surprising chatter coming from different directions and decided to investigate. As he walked through the zoo, it didn't take him long to figure out the mix-up. He hurriedly waved at Donald, who was now resting and dreaming of his next task. Startled by Mr. Turtlehod's panicked voice, Donald shot up, immediately realizing the too obvious blunder he had made. "Oh no, what a mess I've made," he exclaimed, flapping his arms in despair. Realizing there was no time to waste, Donald scurried off, gathering the team of human helpers and goofy animal friends he'd made along his short time at the zoo to rectify the situation. Together, they hustled from one enclosure to the next, fixing the misplaced signs amidst laughter and high spirits. Despite the mix-up, the day turned out to be one filled with giggles and wonder. The visitors had a good laugh, and Donald learned a very important lesson: double-checking is always a good idea. As the sun set behind the hills of Duckburg, Donald wiped his forehead with relief, his heart full from all the joy he had unwittingly spread. And as he waved goodbye to the last of the happy visitors, Mr. Turtlehod chuckled appreciatively, promising Donald he'd always have a spot at the zoo, even with his occasional clumsiness.